Hello everyone, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, and in today's pick-a card, I thought of untangling a little bit the mysterious world of your dreams. So this pick-a card is all about what do your dreams mean. So you have 4 options here, and you can choose between the green, the gray, the red, or the deep purple nail polishes. Take a deep breath in, focus on the colors, and figure out which one is the best for you. Okay, well, now I will proceed with pile number 1. Okay, so pile number 1, if you've chosen this really beautiful deep green color. So I have to say that I shuffled these cards last night with the energy of the full moon, and I just allowed them to sit throughout the night. And this morning, we're going to figure out what kind of cards you have. I also want to say that we have here a yes and no and a clarifier, just to figure out if you have an additional question that is kind of bothering you subconsciously. We're going to clarify that as well. Okay, so let's see what cards you got. You got the Moon, Heavenly Master, Bellflower, Gratitude. I'm just trying to see if you can actually see all of them. So, Amaryllis, Determination and Creative Enhancement, the 8 of Pentacles, the Magician, the Tower, and the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. What do your dreams tell you? Okay, I'm really drawn to this red color over here. I feel like you might have quite heated dreams, or you might be sweating a lot during your sleep. I don't necessarily see it as a negative thing, but it's almost as if there is some sort of anxiety with your dreams. So they might be, well, they might be slightly erotic as well, but even if they are erotic or pleasurable, there is an undertone of anxiety in your dreams. And this red color of the amaryllis and the idea of determination kind of tells me that these are quite persistent dreams. So you might be having them for a while now. Maybe you have hot flashes in your dreams and you wrestle a lot. I kind of see this person that is wrestling in their sleep with themselves. And this is confirmed by the Tower card. So you might be experiencing quite shocking images in your sleep, which might lead to a physical reaction, such as you might be kicking your feet in your sleep, or you might be, your heartbeat might be quite fast, as if you're racing in your sleep, almost as if you're being chased by someone. You could be dreaming of a particular man who is mysterious. You can't see his face. Maybe he's dressed in a cloak, maybe he's carrying a weapon. I'm really drawn to the fact that the magician in this card is putting his finger into a red glass. So again, red and red. Also the red here between the yin and yang. You could be tormented or haunted by a male figure. So you could be a man as well watching this. But you might be having dreams about another man that is chasing you or following you or wanting something from you. And it's also like the sword and the stick, the tower. It's kind of like phallic symbols. So I do see this masculine presence in your dreams that might be adding to the hot flashes and the general disturbance that you might be feeling in your dreams. There is also a positive side to this. So you are also really imaginative in your dreams. You are strongly connected with lunar energy. So especially during full moons, you might be having quite intense dreams. So right about this period, you might be experiencing some of the things I mentioned. Don't be worried. This is just part of a natural cycle of your unconscious cleansing itself, especially if you're undergoing a period of stress. When we experience stress in our daily lives, we tend to repress certain things and they just come up, bubble up while we sleep. So we tend to have much more colorful, vivid dreams. And this is very normal. It's as if our brains are cleansing themselves of the pressure, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're ready to take on the stress again, until you manage to alleviate the stress in your daily life. Then your sleep is also going to calm down naturally. So there is this cycle between our waking life and our sleeping lives. And I'm sure you're pretty aware of this, because I see you being a very imaginative, active dreamer. I see you being quite fruitful and quite successful, maybe in your daily life as well. Maybe this is why you're experiencing some pressures. You might need to let off some steam. I mean, look at this. This person is working in the furnace, putting in long hours. And you can see the furnace here that is creating these pentacles. So it's like a lot of steam, a lot of hard work that is being created, like a blacksmith working in the middle of the night. So maybe your sleep patterns have been disturbed by these hot flashes. Maybe they're so intense that you wake up in the middle of the night and then, you know, you have some problems falling back asleep, or you wake up and you fall asleep, you wake up and you fall asleep several times a night. And this is potentially quite stressful for you. So at the moment, you're kind of figuring out how to get out of this situation. And as I said, I think the way to get out is to kind of reduce your workload and delegate your tasks during the daily part of your activity, so that at nighttime the pressure can be lessened. Even though your unconscious is actively working to reduce whatever stress you're feeling during the day, you can help it out by maybe working a little bit less, or putting in more breaks, or delegating your tasks to other colleagues if that is possible, or even taking like a day off, you know, where you can just sleep, maybe staying in at weekends and resting a little bit more. It's also winter time, so, you know, generally our energy levels are very low because we should naturally be hibernating in this period, but we're not, we're actively working. So overall, it's quite, I feel the outcome is quite positive, the outcome of your dreams. I think that in your dreams, you encounter people that help you, because with the Ten of Pentacles and gratitude here, and also Heavenly Master, who is actually the Hierophant in traditional tarot, I see that you encounter powerful persons in your dreams, powerful characters, maybe animals, rabbits as well, like helpful creatures, maybe woodsmiths or workers, wordsmiths, huntsmen, maybe villagers, maybe maidens, like maidens that wear blue dresses or have blue hair in your dreams. Maybe you have that, or are surrounded by some sort of like blue aura. These people appear in your dreams and they help you out. So they give you hints, or they hand you objects, or they show you the way out. Maybe they open doors for you. Maybe they, you know, create windows where you think that you're blocked. So I feel that the people that you meet in your everyday work environment show up in your dreams quite often, but they show up in distorted ways. So a man might turn into a woman, or a woman might turn into a man, or whoever is weak in your workplace might show up as being very powerful in your dreams. So you've got this reversal thing going on also with the Tower, because it's like turning a situation upside down. You might be having dreams about power as well. So with the red and the hard work, the Hierophant and the Tower as well, you might be thinking about wanting to transform your reality. So you want to be the magician of your reality. So you're manipulating your life in your dreams. And if you are, for example, just a normal employee in a company, during your daily life, you are thinking about being the emperor of a gigantic castle or of a kingdom in your dreams. So you have these dreams about unimaginable material riches, and perhaps even that kind of fantasy of being the knight who has the who saves the princess, you know, like in Mario, and defeats the monster and just lives happily ever after. But there is some sort of conflict that you always dream about. There's always some struggle, some fights, some arguments. So it's quite a masculine kind of energy that I see here for pile number 1. Even if you're a woman, you might be having these dreams as well. So you might be having fantasies about being more powerful, about resolving your fights. It's almost as if you're processing your anger in your sleep. Okay, so that's what I see for you, pile number 1. And now think of a question regarding your current reality. And let's see. I have here a yes and no card and a clarifier from tarot. Let me just see if you can see them. Yeah, okay. So if the card is black, so either treble or black heart, then it's a no. If it's red, then it's a yes. So that means if it's either red of hearts or a rhombus. Okay, so let's see. Think of a question. And the answer to your question is no. Okay, so it could also be like if you thought of a positive question, this could be an affirmation. If you thought of a more negative question, then I'm really sorry about that, but the answer is no. And it's quite a full-on no because it's a black of hearts and also number 10, and number 10 is the sign of completion. So let's clarify this card. What does this mean that you got a no? Queen of Pentacles. So the no that you got in relation to the question that you asked about your reality and your dreams is related to your desire to acquire material wealth. With the Queen of Pentacles, it shows me that you are on the right track, but because Pentacles is a slow energy, maybe you require more time to process that. And maybe you actually need to step into your Queen energy. So you have to be intuitively guiding your subordinates or intuitively managing whoever it is that you are arguing with at work. And as I mentioned before, cooperate, delegate, because a queen doesn't do all her hard work herself. She tells other people gently, kindly, respectfully to take care of her business. And in this way, because other people respect her, she's being well taken care of and she doesn't have to work so hard, okay? So I hope this clarifies whatever question you had in your mind. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please give it a like if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Okay, so for those of you who chose the gray nail polish, okay, so let's see. Okay, so as I mentioned, I have here 2 cards. This is a yes and no kind of situation that you can ask at the end of the reading regarding whatever worry you have in your daily reality that might be coming up in your dreams. So I'll deal with this card, the yes and no card, and the clarifier towards the end of the reading. But first, let me see what cards you got for your tarot. So what are your dreams telling you? 4 of Cups, 10 of Cups, Crocus, cheerfulness, Sweet William, gallantry, grant me a single smile. 2 of Swords, 3 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and Knight of Wands. Sorry, I almost said King. Maybe somebody's wanting to be a king here. Okay, so just so you see them as well. Okay. I think your dreams are definitely calmer than the first piles. Definitely. I think you sleep a lot with really comfortable sheets. I just had this feeling of you sleeping on the side most of the time in really nice sheets, like a very calm atmosphere. You might actually be drawn to colors like very soothing colors, like almost non-emotional colors like grays and beiges and light blues, cool, calm colors. I see you as being a person that is quite indecisive during their waking hours. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You might just be a person that likes to reflect a lot and take their time when making a decision. You could be quite artistic, you could be introverted, you have this capacity of not complicating your reality, but you have very complex thoughts. So it's almost as if you want your reality to be quite neat and orderly, so you have a lot of time to be lost in your thoughts. Because I feel that you have a very rich inner world with these two cards here. I feel like you're maybe very good at analysis, a very good thinker, an overthinker a little bit. But that you generally enjoy spending time by yourself, you generally enjoy resting, sleeping. It's a very calm energy. I do think, though, that your indecision can put you in a bit of a pickle in your everyday reality. So it's almost as if, because you take a lot of time to make decisions, you might be missing out on certain opportunities, which prevent you from actually reaching your full potential, your 10 of Cups. So you are being placed into situations where you have to start all over again. In your dreams, you might have these dreams where you are faced with choosing paths, so making decisions. You are basically practicing in your dreams whatever you're putting off in your everyday reality. So let's say you are faced with a big decision at work. Maybe you have to relocate for work, or you have to, a promotion opportunity appeared and you're thinking whether to take it or not. Maybe you have to tell a colleague, that they're being laid off and you're putting that off. Maybe you're thinking of moving jobs. Or in relationships with other people, you have to make decisions. Maybe you're caught in two romantic situations and you have to make a choice. Maybe you have to discuss whether you want to have babies or not with your partner, whether you want to marry them or not. And you're kind of putting things off because you like, as I said at the beginning, you like to take your time when you make a decision, which is absolutely fine. I'm just thinking about how this gets reflected in your dreams. So your dream world might involve you, maybe like even in this card, because I'm really drawn to the Knight of Wands, maybe you're galloping somewhere in a field and all of a sudden you have to make a decision between three people that appear on the side of the road. Who can you give something to? Who should you choose? Whose advice should you follow? Or maybe you're lost, like I see you in a very foggy wood and it's getting nighttime and you have the choice between 6 roads, but you can't see where these roads lead to because it's very thick fog around you. So you just have to make a choice based on complete faith, on your intuition. And I think you are pretty afraid of doing that because you're quite analytical with all the swords energy. The 4 of Cups, you're like, nah, I have my cup here. I know what's safe. I know what's good for me. I don't want to make choices. I don't want to look at all the other 3 cups. But I think if you're not risking things, and you know that if you don't take a risk, you're not going to win big. So you have to progress from this little tiny cup that you're safely holding on to. Take a chance on the other 3 cups that are behind you, because you might multiply them. Okay, you might reach the stage where, wow, I have so many cups now. But I guess you're afraid because you're very aware and you're quite intelligent and you're aware of the fact that you might lose everything. Yeah, so you're trying to prevent this kind of situation. I see you as also not wanting to get into emotional situations. So I don't see your dreams as being very emotional. I don't see your sleep as being very emotional. You don't toss and twist and turn in your sleep. You are just quite calm and you are practicing choices that you should be making in your reality. You're practicing all the potential scenarios. I see you as wanting a fresh start, especially from a material financial point of view. But this could also be a golden opportunity that appears in your dreams. So it's almost as if you're fantasizing in your dreams about having some sort of deus ex machina, which is like this random spontaneous thing that comes up out of nowhere and completely obliterates all the other available options, and you have no choice but to go with that one. And this brings you a sense of levity and cheerfulness, like, oh, thank you for taking the pressure of making the decision from my shoulders, you know? Overall, the energy is very positive. It's very calm. It's very reflective, as I said. I don't really see you being that, you know, explosive also with the gray choice. But there is here a sense of practicing decisions so that you don't miss out on opportunities. And when you, or if you miss out on opportunities in reality, you always feel the pressure of starting all over again. So going from the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Cups. Also, like, Pentacles and Swords are very much about rational, logical decisions, while Cups are all about emotions. So, as I said, I think you are fantasizing at the moment with the idea of becoming more emotional, getting in touch with your emotions more, because I think you have an intuition that that might be the path towards happiness. Not being so gallant, not being so polite, not being so just and fair all the time, but letting go a little bit, letting loose. So you might be having dreams. I kind of see a party or a feast in your dreams as well. So maybe you're galloping towards a party or a feast, and you have to make decisions along the way, and you have to make the right decision in order to reach to that place of party and feasting and celebration that you so desire. Yeah, so that's basically what I see for you, pile number 2. Now, in terms of your reality or your dreams, if there is a question that's been bugging you, please ask it now. Okay, and then we are going to decide whether this is a yes or a no. Okay, if it's a black toned card, so for example, if it's Black of Hearts or Treble, then it's a no. If it's a red toned card, so Red of Hearts or Rhombus, then it's a yes. Okay, so let's see. Yes. Okay, so you got a 6 of Hearts, which means a yes. Whatever question you've been, you know, thinking about right now, the answer is a straightforward yes. Okay, let's clarify this. Why is it a yes? Or what is it related to, if you're curious about that? Okay, Prince of Cups. So this is a bit funny because, as I mentioned, Cups energy, emotions. Yeah, definitely. So whatever you asked, the question is, the answer is yes. And this is related to emotions. You have to start somehow by getting more in touch with your emotions, because this is the path towards whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life at the moment. Okay, I really hope this helped. It was a pleasure for me to do this reading. If you like it, please remember to like it as well on my page. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. I'll be doing more pick a cards like this in the future. Bye! Okay, pile number 3. If you chose this really beautiful red nail polish, these are your cards. So, as I mentioned for the other piles, I have here a yes and no card, this one, and a clarifier. So this is for you to ask towards the end of the reading a question that you might be having regarding your reality or whatever else is bothering you at the moment, and we can see if the answer is yes or no. But before, let me just interpret what your dreams are telling you at the moment. So, you have the Chariot, 2 of Coins. Such a beautiful card, isn't it? Iris, Rainbows and Messages. Wow, okay. Hydrangea, Thankfulness for Understanding. Trying to focus it a little bit, yeah. 5 of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Empress. Wow. The Emperor. I'm laughing, and do you know why I'm laughing? Because this is our erotic dreams pile. Okay. I was waiting for this. I wanted to see when this is going to happen. Oh my god, are you fantasizing about coupling, union? here's the thing, you're having like really, really, really elaborate, beautiful fantasies about romance. Maybe you wake up and you don't remember your dreams. You might be one of those person, but I'm here to tell you, your subconscious is processing almost like a really beautiful obsession with love, with union, with two people coming together and experiencing the best pleasures of their bodies, of their hearts, just living out their heart's desire, just coupling, just like there's so much passion here with the Chariot, the Emperor and the Empress. I mean, this is fantastic that they came out together, and the Lovers. And I'm also drawn to the fact that you chose the red nail polish, which is actually the more the most powerful color that I have at the moment. So it's, yeah, I mean, look at, you see the correspondence here as well. It's like a couple, a couple, a couple, a couple. This is fantastic, and irises usually are worn at weddings. It's just hydrangeas are a symbol of, like prosperity. So it's just a lot about, yeah, cornucopia. I think you have dreams of people frolicking, maybe in nature, people having sex in a lot of like different positions. And when I mean by people, it could be you and another person that you really crave, or you and maybe the person that you're in love with at the moment in your life. You might be in love with someone. I can see you being completely consumed by a relationship at the moment, or wanting to be consumed by this. Especially, sorry, I had to drink. Especially in situations when you might be separated from a person, but you met them and you have this connection, and then you go through this process. I don't know if you're familiar with, but you go through this process where your desire for that person just grows and grows and grows and grows, and it tends to, like, your dreaming life tends to overwhelm your waking life because the fantasy is so strong. The energy that you're accumulating, the erotic and like emotional energy that you're gathering inside of yourself just wants to be released. So if you can't be with that person to release it in the material physical world, your your imagination is running, it's full speed, and your dreaming life is trying to completely process those feelings. So it's creating images in your mind about union, about coupling, about pregnancy as well, this kind of like, making love to someone and getting them pregnant as like the epitome of like romantic fulfillment, and I guess what we understand traditionally in the Western culture through how a romantic relationship should end up, I guess. There is also a fear here of maybe being caught by somebody else, being watched. Maybe it kind of feels to me like you're afraid of losing. You're afraid of losing. So there are two feelings here. One is this deep love and passion for this person that you're clearly enamored with, coupled with a fear of losing them, a fear of being left out in the cold, a fear of being rejected, of having someone kind of controlling you and watching you and your person. So it's almost like, or maybe you're afraid that somebody might be watching in on your dreams. Maybe you sleep. Do you sleep in your dream? Do you sleep in your dreams? Oh my god. Okay, let me rephrase that, because I feel like I'm getting a bit carried away. I feel very dreamy right now with this energy. It just makes me feel like, oh, this is adorable. Okay, sorry, I'll come back. Maybe you speak in your dreams. That's what I wanted to say. So maybe people have told you that, hey, you keep saying or mumbling things when you sleep. So maybe you're afraid that you have this fantasy and other people will find out. I'm not going to say that this is a situation where you're fantasizing about another person while you're sleeping in bed with someone else. I don't know. I don't want to put this idea in your minds. It could be maybe for a specific number of you, because this is a general reading. But let's not focus on that aspect because it's a bit sad. Let's focus on those of you that are just having this wet and wild dreams about somebody that you are enamored with. Yeah, so that's kind of what I see with the Five of Pentacles. It's also could be a fear of financial loss. Maybe you're afraid that if you let go in your feelings too much, maybe you're afraid you might neglect your work and you'll end up poor and broke on the streets because you're like, oh my God, I'm giving in to my feelings. I just want to be with this person all the time. I don't want to go to work. Yeah, we've all been there. If you've been in love, you know how that feels. You just, you don't want to deal with the responsibilities of everyday life. You just want to be with this person. You're consumed by the feelings that you have for this person, because it's almost like a drug. Oxytocin, serotonin, adrenaline are being produced in our bodies when we're in love. So it's like you want more and more and more and more to be with this person all the time. So, but perfectly understandable. I do think that you're quite conquering in your dreams with the Emperor. I feel like you're the kind of person that is like taking charge in your dreams. You're like, yes, I found my person. This could be for a man watching this, wanting to conquer the princess, because it's a lot about, the Emperor and the Chariot are very strong energy, very fast forward moving energies, very decisive, very pleasurable energies. And he's kind of grabbing her here, and he's kind of like holding the coins here. So I do feel like the masculine aspect of it is like taking charge of the feminine aspect. Take it however it applies to you. But if you're a woman having these wet dreams, you would fantasize about being taken by this guy and just being, made love to beautifully, but also kept emotionally safe enough so you could get pregnant and start a family with this person. So it's very beautiful. There's nothing dark here. You're not playing out some sort of dark, twisted fantasies, although dark fantasies can be pleasurable as well. This is all about pure love, pure pleasure, pure abundance, pure prosperity, two people being empowered, okay? So you might take turns in who kind of dominates who, and just being very playful. I mean, rainbows and messages, all of your dreams are fulfilled. In your erotic fantasies, you are the boss, and your loved one is the boss as well, and you're just equally sharing in pleasure. And even though there might be some setbacks, maybe there are some influences like some envious people or people watching in on you, you don't give an F. You're just charging forward with your love, establishing your empire, and just living out. You're making love to each other in all the colors of the rainbow. Okay, and on this poetic note, I'm going to end this reading here. But before you go, think of a question, and I'm going to tell you whether the answer to that question is yes or no. This card here is yes or no card. And if it's a red type card, so if it's a red of hearts or a rhombus, then it's a yes. Or if it's a black type card, if it's a black of hearts or a treble, then it's going to be a no. Okay, ready? Let's see. The answer to your question is a no, and it's a pretty firm no, because the queen is, the last in the deck, and she's really powerful. So it's a royal no. I'm sorry to say this, but maybe you asked the question about a fear, and this no obliterates the fear. I hope you did that. Anyway, let's clarify. What does this no mean? Prince of Wands. The word forbidden pleasure came into my mind. Okay, so don't proceed with whatever it is that you're thinking of, or don't say whatever it is that you want to say. Then again, I'm just telling you what the cards say. You always have free will, and you can do whatever it is you want with your life. But there is something here of be careful, you might get burned if you play with fire. So no, and this is the clarifying card. It's about not moving forward. Do you see the chariot here? A man on a chariot with a lion in front of him, and here is the charioteer. So it's like you are fantasizing about pushing forward, but unless, like, if this is a dodgy situation, don't get in trouble. If this is not a dodgy situation and it's just a fear that you need to overcome, then yeah, go forward. But the card is cautioning you to be careful, okay? Don't burn yourself, don't play with fire, okay? Great, it was such great pleasure for me to give you this reading. I really had a lot of fun. I mean, It's fantastic to have a sneak peek into your dream world. Thank you for inviting me in. And if you like this kind of reading, please remember to like it down on my page. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye. Okay, pile number 4. If you've chosen this, purple. I'm just trying to see if the camera can like stabilize it a little bit. Anyway, it's deep purple nail polish. Okay, so as I mentioned for the other piles, you have here a yes and no card and a tarot card that is clarifying that yes and no. You have the chance to ask a question regarding your reality and whatever unconscious fears you might be having regarding the situation at the end of the dream reading. But first I'm going to try to interpret what your dreams mean through these tarot cards. So let's see what cards you got. You got a Page of Cups. You got Confucius. Okay, so this is basically the Judgment card. Forget-me-nots, Eternal Memories. Apple Blossoms, Choices, Knowledge, and Illumination. Knight of Cups. Justice. Six of Swords. Eight of Cups. Wow, okay, 2 cards that are speaking very well to each other. Okay, this is very clear what it is about. Okay, I just want you to see the cards. Good. So, I feel that in your dreams, you are going over certain events that happened to you in the past. You are processing certain choices, certain decisions that you had to make that might have felt like the right thing to do at the time, but somehow they left you emotionally scarred. So you're kind of going over events in your past. There is a flavor of nostalgia going on here. I mean, Six of Swords, Eight of Cups are 2 cards that are quite powerful when you see them together, because it's all about walking away, having to walk away, having to let go, a necessary rite of passage that completed, moving on because of emotional disappointment. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just burped. Forgive me, I am human. So, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit sad. I'm feeling a little bit disappointed when I look at these cards. It's like I'm feeling with you, for you. I'm not saying that your situation saddens me. It's just I'm feeling into this energy, and I can understand what you might be feeling, especially if this really resonates with you. You had to make some tough choices. This was part of your life path, so nothing was wasted, nothing was done wrongly, and I really want you to move away from this framework of thinking that things are right and wrong, because you might be tempted to think in polar terms, so in opposites. Like, I had to make the right decision, I had to make, did I make the right decision? Was I mistaken? Have I done anything wrong? No. You made the decision that you had to make at the time, and you move forward in your life, which I can see very clearly with these cards. And there's no point to dwell on those feelings anymore. But it feels as if you want to dwell, because maybe the situation happened very quickly and you did not have time to process the feelings. So with the Knight of Cups, I feel like your feelings are coming up for you. Wow, I'm seeing like a lot of water. You might be having dreams with a lot of water. Water, 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 right? Even he is pouring something in his cup. And the sun, maybe you're at the beach. You might be dreaming about sandy dunes, water overwhelming them. You might be dreaming about drowning. You might be dreaming about boats coming in, going on a boat trip, swimming in the water. Water basically overwhelming you. Water is a sign from our unconscious that we have to deal with our emotions. And usually water and massive amounts of water, or feeling like we're drowning, is a symbol of us being overwhelmed by our emotions because we're not processing them in our daily lives. So maybe in your daily life you have to be very rational and logical, and in your dream life you are just afraid of water, dreaming about water, being immersed in water. I feel like some sort of pain in my solar plexus. Yeah, yellow, yeah, solar plexus. So maybe, you can listen to solar plexus chakra healing meditations on YouTube. There's a bit of hair as well on this card. Sorry, that's from my cats, but I think somebody's hair that you associate with water. I'm getting like a female, a person with really long, beautiful hair that looks like water. You might be dreaming about that. You might be dreaming about losing that person, or that person walking away from you. And you're left feeling alone, a little bit like an old man that just, I'm not saying that old people are alone, but just like, that stereotype that we have of elderly people that go into the mountains, like the wise men that go into the mountains, isolate themselves in order to dedicate themselves to their spiritual lives. I feel like in your situation, maybe you didn't dedicate yourself to your spiritual life, but you are just taking time out to process what has happened. But you're quite nostalgic about it, and you're not letting go of these memories. I mean, if something really impressed our souls and helped us grow and touched our hearts, we will never be able to let it go. And that's perfectly fine, because it's like the people we meet, the situations that we go through are part of who we are. You shouldn't want to rip them out of your life, even though they might have ended in not so good ways. Like good and bad situations, and well, I don't like to think in terms of good and bad, but like if a situation was negative, it can still help us become better people, Like everything is like a necessary procession. And I see you're becoming a very upright person. You're becoming very much more able to balance your logical with your emotional side. You might be having dreams as well about things blooming, flowers growing out of the water. Maybe you're having dreams about watering plants, and I see a lot of greenery in your dreams, also with his cloak, like you might be in the forest. So there might be a procession between your dreams with water, and then you're all of a sudden in a forest. And you're surrounded by vegetation. You might be naked in bushes or covered in leaves. Or inside the house, and you look out the window and you see a lot of vegetation. It's green here as well. So greens and blues, the cool, calm sea, and like the peacefulness that we get from green vegetation and the freshness that we get from green vegetation. I mean, overall, you're in a really good balanced place in life. I don't see any big conflicts in your reality, but you just have a sense of nostalgia, a sense of I think you're processing your feelings in your sleep, and those feelings might be related to some sort of guilt or shame that you might have from the way situations ended in your past. I'm here to tell you that guilt and shame are perfectly fine, but that you also have the choice not to carry them, because the situation ended. And even though it might not have had the outcome you wanted, you can always start something new. There will be many more opportunities coming into your life, and to a certain extent we do have control over what happens. Maybe just flowing with the energy. If your dreams are a lot about water and greenery, then take a fresh and more flowing approach to your relationships. I do see that you need to take your time with whatever comes your way, so just follow that, no pressure, no stress. Take your time and process these memories, and we can always create new memories all the time. Even now, you created a memory by watching this video. Okay. So I'm gonna move on to the questions. So think of a question you have, And this is a yes and no card. If it's red themed, it's gonna be a yes. If it's black themed, it's gonna be a no, okay? And then we're gonna clarify what the yes and no could be related to. So a question about that you're concerned at the moment regarding your reality. Okay, let's see. Yes or no? It's a yes. Wow, okay. And it's a very strong yes. It's a hell yes. Because it's the queen. So the queen is the last one in the royal family, and she basically gathers up all that energy. So and queen of diamonds. So it's like, wow. Okay. Let's clarify what this is about. 5 of Pentacles, worry. Okay, yeah, okay. So you have nothing to worry. As I said, the shame and the guilt, throw them out the window. Wash them in the sea. Bury them in the bushes. If that is the question that you asked about. But, you know, like, don't trap yourself. Don't trap yourself mentally. Because you have a lot of options. You have a lot of choices. And I think your dreams are trying to cleanse you of whatever negative remnant nostalgia you might be having. It could also be good nostalgia. So, you know, the more time passes, the more we tend to remember the good of a situation. So, as I said, if you allow yourself sufficient time, you might look back on your relationships and think, actually, that was pretty awesome. And I'm happy and thankful I lived through it. Okay, on this really peaceful, positive note, I'm going to end this reading here and the video overall. If you really liked it, please remember to like it. I really like this exchange of energy. It was a pleasure for me to have a sneak peek into your private dream world. I hope this helped and encouraged you. Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, I'll just basically see you next time. Bye bye!